Hello, friends. Today we are going to read about Nelson Mandela. This book was written by Maria Isabel Sanchez Vergara, illustrated by Allison Hawkins. There once lived a little boy in South Africa whose name sounded like a song, Rolilala. It meant troublemaker in Xhosa, his language. He was a member of a clan who had lived in that land long before the country even existed. His great-grandfather was the clan's king, and his father its chief. No one in his family had had a formal education before. On the first day of class, his teacher gave each of the students an English name, and from then on, Rolilala was known as Nelson. Nelson was 12 when his father passed, but he inherited his sense of fairness. It was decided that he would be taken to the great place and entrusted to the chief's family, who treated him like a son and continued his education. Listening to the tales told by the oldest visitors at the palace, Nelson discovered his love of African history. He also learned that his country had been taken over by white men. They made laws and took decisions for all of its inhabitants. Big homes, good schools, fair pay. White people had everything they hoped for, while everyone else was forced to give up their dreams. Nelson knew that wasn't fair, so he went to college, wanting to do his best to change it. When he found out that his family was arranging his marriage, Nelson ran away to Dark City, a neighborhood in Johannesburg. It was so dark that at night there was just the moon to give him light while he studied. Nelson had joined a group that worked for equal rights when the government set up an even more unfair system called apartheid. Its racist laws separated people because of their skin color, burying their hopes for a better future. The signs say, "We demand freedom, stop apartheid, free South Africa, stop apartheid now." Still, Nelson refused to give up. After being arrested many times for organizing protests against apartheid laws, he had no other choice but to go into hiding. For a long time, he only went out dressed in a disguise. One day, he and 7 of his friends were accused of trying to overthrow the racist government. He was sent to jail for 27 long years. Still, from his cell, he kept dreaming of a country where all people were treated equally. During the years behind bars, he didn't just earn the respect of his guards. He became a symbol of the struggle for justice. All around the world, there were calls to free Nelson from jail and end apartheid. Nelson was a 72-year-old grandfather when the president of South Africa visited him and decided to release him. They both agreed to work as a team to change the laws and build a fairer country, and they won a Nobel Peace Prize for it. Millions of people who had never had the chance to vote before chose Nelson to be the first Black president of South Africa. It was a huge step towards a rainbow nation where people of all races could live together peacefully and everyone would count. And by facing every struggle in his long walk to freedom with hope and determination, little Nelson learned that the greatest glory is rising every time we fall. Because a winner is just a dreamer who never gives up. Here's a timeline of Nelson Mandela's life. He was born in 1918. He died in 2013. He became a symbol of the anti-apartheid movement, and people all across the world were calling for his freedom. He won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1993, and he's regarded in South Africa as the father of the nation. Nelson's devotion to justice is a reminder that the journey to equality may be long, but it's one we must never give up on.